Transforming your life through hypnotherapy has never been easier. With the help of your host, Julie from coachinghypnosis.net, and these power-packed minisodes, you're sure to find yourself engaging in more positive behaviors around both your physical and mental health. Here's your host, Julie.
G'day, it's Julie from coachinghypnosis.net, and you deserve to know the one insane brainwashing prevention tip for 2022, because people are exhausted from being so fabulous and nagged to do stuff all the time. I'm not a therapist or a psychotherapist, but this is my 9th year as a clinical hypnotherapist in strategic psychotherapy. I currently help my clients online. They change their life without changing out of their pajamas, and you can light up your life with motivation and avoid being brainwashed, because hypnotherapy has had great success with motivation, but you need a coach who has clear morals and boundaries and knows when to stop. Why do advertisers spend billions of dollars every year on trying to get people to be motivated to buy stuff? Because they know it works. Have you ever walked away from buying something, bought something you had no intention of buying, or staying up late to watch a movie because you lost complete track of time? There are so many different ways to capture someone's attention. And if you think I'm being outrageous when I say be careful, it's because for 2,000 years and up until the late 19th century, bloodletting was fashionable. One of the reasons why it became so popular was the dramatic effects on the patients. People would collapse into a restful state, and it was assumed that must have been good for the patient. When George Washington died from a headache, the procedure they used was bloodletting, and at that time, they felt if they took more blood, they could have saved him. The medical industry is a whole other universe, and so is the advertising industry. As a hypnotherapist, you can brainwash or motivate someone, and you do it by using suggestions. The meaning of brainwashing is the process of pressuring someone into adopting radically different beliefs by using systematic and often forcible means. As a member of the International Hypnotherapy Association, I would probably lose my license if I did it by forcible means, and I just don't have the heart to do it. The process of influencing people is different for everyone. One of the most successful salesmen of all time, Brian Tracy, would use the hot button technique. I think that is what it was called. But towards the end of his sales presentations, he would walk towards the office door to let himself out of the prospect's office. He would deliberately place his hand on the doorknob and say something like, "Can you sign today?" And as soon as the prospect would say no, he would turn back around and sit back down in the chair and continue his sales presentation. And he would repeat this technique until he had a deposit from the prospect. And I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about the death of the 3 people in the hot tent in Arizona in October 2009, but James Arthur Ray was a popular motivational speaker. He was so popular, and people just loved and adored the man. The CBC wrote, participants paid up to $10,000 US for the 5-day program intended to push their physical and emotional limits. More than 50 people participated in the 2-hour sweat lodge, a sauna-like ceremony typically used by American Indians to rid the body of toxins. It was meant to be the highlight of Ray's spiritual warrior seminar near Sedona. 2 people were pronounced dead at the scene. A third died after spending more than a week in a coma. 18 others were hospitalized. Witnesses described the scene after the ceremony as alarming, chaotic, like a battlefield, with people vomiting and shaking violently, while others dragged lifelessly and barely breathing participants outside. And you can watch the video footage of the hot tent incident. You can hear James using words like, "You need to die in order to be reborn." And maybe the motivational speaker, James, wasn't aware of the embedded commands he was using, or maybe people took it literally, because if you feel like you're going to die, that's not great for your nervous system, adrenal glands, and blood pressure. So how do you know if you're being groomed, primed, before it's too late? Here is the one insane brainwashing lesson for 2022. Being manipulated normally starts with truisms. When you first learn hypnosis, you say 3 truths and a lie. For example, aware of your eyes closed. True. Aware of your breath moving in and out. True. Aware of your chest rising and falling. True. As you feel deeply relaxed. Not true. That was a suggestion. And you repeat, aware of your legs. True. Feet on the floor. True. Aware of the noises outside in the distance. True. And I wonder if you recognize the process of being influenced. Lie. That was a suggestion. Maybe there are more suggestions than lies, and it's hard to catch suggestions, but they are there. Darren Brown explains a great tip for parents if you want your children to go to bed at 8:30 p.m. You know you can't kind of say, I need you in bed at 8:30 p.m. because they just won't. But if you say, because you were so well behaved today, would you like to go to bed at 8 o'clock or 8:30 p.m.? And the child will choose 8:30 p.m. and happily take themselves to bed. And that's a great tip for parents. But in all seriousness, if you ever come into a situation where you know you've just started being primed or groomed, we all know how to do a death stare, like at a salesman who tries to upsell too hard, or you at least know how to roll your eyes at your parent, and you can simply say, I know what you're doing, and it's wrong, and you should always alert the local authority. What if the next time you thought about brainwashing prevention differently? And what if you didn't? The choice is yours.